My name is Scarlet. He destroyed my family. I married him to destroy his. This is my story. It is a story about anger. It is a story about love. And it is a story about the truth. I want to tell you everything. I want you to understand my heart. Maybe you have felt anger too. Maybe you have been hurt. If you have, please listen to me. I grew up in a small house. It was a happy house. My father was a baker. He made the best bread in the city. The smell of warm bread was always in our kitchen. My mother helped him. I helped him too. We were not rich, but we were happy. My father loved his bakery. It was his life. He worked every day. He woke up very early. He came home very late. But he always smiled at me. "Scarlet," he said, "this bakery is for you. One day it will be yours." I loved that dream. I wanted to be a baker like him. But then everything changed. A big company came to our town. They wanted to buy all the land. They wanted to build a big shopping mall. They wanted to destroy the old shops. My father said no. He did not want to sell. The bakery was our home. The owner of the big company was a man named Mr. Blackwood. He was a rich man. He was a powerful man. He did not like the word no. Mr. Blackwood made life very hard for my father. He stopped customers from coming. He made the rent very high. He used his money to hurt us. My father fought hard. He tried to save the bakery, but he was just one man. Mr. Blackwood was too strong. One day, the bakery closed. My father lost everything. We lost our house too. We had to move to a very small apartment. It was cold. It was dark. My father became sad. His smile went away. He got sick. The doctor said it was his heart. But I knew the truth. His heart was broken. 6 months later, my father died. I stood by his grave. It was raining. The rain felt cold on my face. My mother held my hand. She was crying. I did not cry. I was too angry to cry. I looked at the sky. I made a promise. I will find the man who did this, I said to myself. I will make him pay. He took my father. He took my happiness. I will take his happiness too. Mr. Blackwood had a son. His name was Julian. Julian Blackwood. I saw his picture in the newspaper. He was young. He was handsome. He was rich. He smiled in the photo. He looked happy. I hated him. I hated his smile. I hated his money. I hated his name. Mr. Blackwood, the father, was old. He died a few years later. He died peacefully in his big bed. That was not fair. He did not suffer. So I looked at Julian. He was the head of the company now. He had all the money. He had the power. I will destroy Julian, I thought. I will make him lose everything, just like my father. This was my plan. It was a dark plan, but I was full of darkness. I was 22 years old. I was alone. My mother went to live with her sister in another city. I stayed in the city. I needed to be close to him. I changed my life. I studied hard. I learned about business. I learned how to dress like a rich woman. I learned how to speak quietly and politely. I was not Scarlett the baker's daughter anymore. I created a new person. I called myself Sarah. I applied for a job at Blackwood Company. I was nervous. My hands shook. But I remembered my father. I remembered the closed bakery. My anger made me strong. I got the job. I was an assistant. I worked on the top floor. I worked near Julian's office. The first time I saw him, my heart stopped. He walked into the office. He was tall. He wore a dark blue suit. He looked very serious. "Good morning," he said to the staff. His voice was deep. It was a nice voice. I looked down at my desk. I did not want him to see my eyes. I was afraid he would see the hate in them. "You are the new assistant?" he asked. I looked up. He was standing in front of my desk. He was looking at me. His eyes were green. They were soft. "Yes, sir," I said. "My name is Sarah." "Welcome, Sarah," he said. He smiled a little. "Please, let me know if you need anything." He walked away. I took a deep breath. He is just a man, I told myself. He is the enemy. Do not forget. I worked there for 6 months. I was a perfect employee. I arrived early. I stayed late. I organized his papers. I made his coffee. I watched him. I studied him. I wanted to find his weakness. Everyone has a weakness. But Julian was different. He was not like his father. He was quiet. He worked hard. He was polite to the cleaners. He was kind to the secretaries. This made me angry. He is pretending, I thought. He is a bad man inside. I just need to wait. One evening, it was raining very hard. Everyone went home. I was still at my desk. Julian came out of his office. He looked tired. "Sarah," he said, "why are you still here? It is late." "I have some work to finish, sir," I said. "Leave it," he said. "Go home. The rain is bad. Do you have a car?" "No, sir. I take the bus." He looked at the window. The rain was heavy. The wind was strong. "I will drive you," he said. "No, thank you," I said quickly. "I am fine." "I insist," he said. "It is not safe tonight." I wanted to say no. But this was my chance. I wanted to be close to him. I wanted him to trust me. "Okay," I said, "thank you." We walked to his car. It was a very expensive car. It smelled like leather and expensive cologne. I sat next to him. I felt strange. I was sitting next to the man I hated, but he was driving me home. "Where do you live?" he asked. I gave him my address. It was a small apartment in a poor part of the city. He drove quietly. He put on some music. It was slow piano music. "Do you like music?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "My father loved music." "My father loved money," Julian said. I looked at him. His face was sad. "He was a difficult man," Julian said. "He taught me business, but he did not teach me how to be happy." I was surprised. Why was he telling me this? "I am sorry," I said. "It is okay," he said. "I am used to it." He stopped the car in front of my building. It looked old and dirty. I felt ashamed. "Thank you, sir," I said. "Call me Julian," he said. "Good night, Sarah." I watched his car drive away. He is lonely, I thought. That is his weakness. He is lonely. I knew what to do. I had to make him fall in love with me. If he loved me, I could hurt him. If he loved me, I could take his money. I could ruin his company. I could break his heart. It was a cruel plan, but I did not care. The next day, I smiled at him more. I asked him about his day. I brought him coffee the way he liked it. Slowly, we started to talk more. We talked about books. We talked about food. We talked about the weather. One day, he asked me to lunch. "Just a work lunch," he said. But it was not work. We went to a nice restaurant. We talked for 2 hours. He laughed at my jokes. I saw his eyes shine. He likes me, I thought. It is working. We went on more dates. We went to the cinema. We went to the park. We walked by the river. Julian was a gentleman. He opened doors for me. He listened to me. He looked at me like I was the only woman in the world. Sometimes it was hard. Sometimes I forgot to hate him. When he laughed, I wanted to laugh too. When he was kind, I felt warm. But then I remembered my father. I remembered the cold rain at the grave. Do not fall in love, I told myself. He is the enemy. This is a game. 1 year passed. It was spring. The flowers were blooming. Julian took me to a beautiful garden. He stopped walking. He took my hand. His hands were shaking. "Sarah," he said, "my life was gray before I met you. You brought color into my world. You are kind. You are smart. You are beautiful." He knelt on one knee. He took out a small box. Inside was a ring. It was a diamond. It was very big. "Will you marry me?" he asked. I looked at the ring. It shone in the sun. This was the moment. This was my victory. If I said yes, I would be his wife. I would have everything. And then I could destroy him. "Yes," I said, "I will marry you." He smiled. It was a huge, happy smile. He stood up and hugged me. He lifted me off the ground. "I love you, Sarah," he whispered. "I love you too," I lied. My heart felt heavy. I felt a sharp pain in my chest. Lying was hard, but I did it. We got married in the summer. It was a big wedding. There were many guests. There were flowers everywhere. I wore a white dress. It was very expensive. Everyone told me I was lucky. "He is so rich," they said. "He is so handsome." "You are like a princess," they said. I smiled at them. But inside, I was cold. I felt like a spy. I felt like a thief. I moved into his big house. It was a mansion. It had many rooms. It had a big garden. It had a swimming pool. But it was quiet. Julian was happy. He tried to give me everything. "Do you like the house?" he asked. "Do you want to change the furniture? You can do anything you want." "It is perfect," I said. I waited. I needed access to a safe. I needed to see his private papers. I wanted to find proof of his father's crimes. I wanted to find a way to steal his money. I played the role of a good wife. I cooked dinner. I hosted parties. I smiled at his friends. But at night, when he was asleep, I got out of bed. I walked through the dark house. I looked in his office. I looked in his drawers. "Where is it?" I whispered. "Where are the secrets?" I found nothing. Julian was honest. His business was clean. He paid his workers well. He gave money to charity. This made me frustrated. How could I destroy a good man? He is not good, I told myself. He is a Blackwood. His money comes from my father's pain. It is dirty money. One night, Julian woke up. I was in the kitchen. I was drinking water. I could not sleep. The guilt was eating me. "Sarah," he asked, "are you okay?" He looked worried. He came to me. He touched my forehead. "You look pale," he said. "Are you sick?" "I am fine," I said. "Just a headache." "Come," he said gently. "Let me make you some tea." He made me herbal tea. He sat with me in the kitchen. He held my hand. "I know this life is different for you," he said. "I know it is a lot, but I am here. We are a team." I looked at him. He was so open. He was so trusting. "Why do you love me?" I asked. He looked surprised. "Why? Because you are you. You are real. You are the best person I know." I wanted to cry. I was not real. I was a lie. "Julian," I said, "what if I am not who you think I am?" He smiled. "We all have secrets, Sarah. We all have fears. I don't care. I love you." He kissed my hand. I felt a tear run down my cheek. I quickly wiped it away. "I am tired," I said. "Let's go to sleep." A few weeks later, something happened. Julian got very sick. It was a bad flu. He had a high fever. He could not get out of bed. The doctor came. He gave him medicine. "He needs rest," the doctor said. "He needs care." I had to take care of him. I was his wife. I sat by his bed. I put cool cloths on his forehead. I gave him soup. I gave him water. He was weak. He looked like a child. "Thank you, Sarah," he whispered. "You are an angel." I looked at his face. I saw his vulnerability. I remembered my father when he was sick. I took care of him too. Suddenly, the anger in my heart started to melt. It was hard to hate a man who was so helpless. It was hard to hate a man who looked at me with so much love. I sat there for 3 days. I watched him sleep. I started to think, what has he done to me? I asked myself. Has he hurt me? No, he has only loved me. But his father, my mind argued. He is not his father, my heart answered. This thought scared me. If he was not the enemy, then who was I? I was the woman who lied. I was the woman who wanted to hurt an innocent man. On the 4th day, Julian was better. He could sit up. He was drinking tea. "Sarah," he said, "I need to show you something." "What is it?" I asked. "Go to my office," he said. "Open the safe. The code is your birthday." My heart beat fast. My birthday. He used my birthday for his safe. "Why?" I asked. "There is a blue folder," he said. "Bring it to me." I went to the office. My hands were shaking. I typed in the code. Beep. The safe opened. I saw the money. I saw the jewelry. And I saw the blue folder. This was it. This was my chance. I could take everything. I could leave him now. I took the folder. I opened it. Inside, there were papers. Old papers. I looked at the names. I saw my father's name. "What is this?" I whispered. I read the papers. They were letters. Letters from Julian to his father. The date was 5 years ago. Julian was young then. I read the first letter. "Father, you cannot do this. You cannot destroy the local shops. These people have families. It is wrong. We do not need this land." I read the second letter. "Father, please stop. The bakery on Main Street. The man is sick. If you take his shop, it will kill him. I beg you, let him stay." I read the third paper. It was a bank transfer. It was a transfer of money. A lot of money. It was sent to my father's bank account. But the transfer failed. The account was already closed. I dropped the folder. My knees felt weak. I sat on the floor. Julian tried to save us. Julian fought his father. He tried to protect my father's bakery. He tried to send us money. I did not know. My father never knew. I covered my mouth. I started to cry. I cried loud and hard. I was wrong. I was so wrong. I hated the wrong man. I married the only man who tried to help us. And I lied to him. I tricked him. I planned to destroy him. I felt sick. I was the monster, not him. I heard footsteps. Julian was standing at the door. He was wearing his robe. He looked weak, but he was standing. "Sarah," he asked, "what is wrong?" He saw the papers on the floor. He saw my face. "You read them," he said softly. I could not speak. I just nodded. He walked to me. He sat on the floor next to me. "I am sorry," he said. I looked at him. "Why are you sorry?" "I could not save him," Julian said. His voice was sad. "I know who you are, Scarlett." The world stopped. Everything was silent. You know," I whispered. He nodded. "I knew from the beginning, when I saw your application. Scarlett Miller, daughter of John Miller. But I used the name Sarah," I said. "I know," he said. "I did a background check. I saw your real name. I saw your history." I stared at him. "You knew, and you gave me the job. You married me." "Yes," he said. "Why?" I screamed. "Why would you marry me? I wanted to hurt you. I wanted to destroy you. Because I owed you," he said. "I wanted to give you back what my father took. I wanted to give you a home. I wanted to give you a life." He looked into my eyes. "And then," he said, "I fell in love with you. I saw your pain. But I also saw your strength. I hoped. I hoped that one day you would see me. Not my name, just me." I looked at this man. This wonderful, stupid, kind man. He knew everything. He knew I was lying. He knew I hated him. But he loved me anyway. He waited for me. I felt my heart break. But it was a good break. The hard shell of anger was breaking. "I am so sorry," I sobbed. "I am so sorry, Julian." I know, he said. He put his arms around me. He held me tight. I thought I wanted revenge. I cried into his chest. I thought it would make me happy. Revenge is a heavy stone, Scarlet, he said. You carried it for a long time. You can put it down now. Can you forgive me? I asked. I lied to you every day. He pulled back. He wiped my tears with his thumb. I forgave you a long time ago, he said. But now, you must forgive yourself. And you must forgive me for my family's sins. I do, I said. I forgive you. We sat on the floor for a long time. We held each other. The ghost of my father was not there anymore. The ghost of his father was gone too. It was just us, Julian and Scarlet. That night, I told him everything. I told him about the promise at the grave. I told him about my plan. I told him about my guilt. He listened. He did not get angry. He just held my hand. It is over now, he said. We start again. No more secrets, I asked. No more secrets, he promised. The next morning, I woke up. The sun was shining. The room was bright. I looked at Julian. He was sleeping. He looked peaceful. I felt different. I felt light. The anger was gone. The hate was gone. I realized something important. Revenge is a fire. It burns the person you hate, but it burns you too. It turns everything to ash. But love is like water. It heals, it cleans, it makes things grow. I got out of bed. I went to the kitchen. I started to make bread. I remembered my father's recipe. Flour, water, yeast, salt. I mixed the dough. I kneaded it. The smell of baking bread filled the big house. It smelled like home. Julian came into the kitchen. He followed the smell. What is this? He asked. He smiled. This is me, I said. This is Scarlet. He cut a slice of warm bread. He ate it. It is delicious, he said. My father taught me, I said. He was a good man, Julian said. Yes, I said. And I married a good man too. We stood in the kitchen. We ate bread. We laughed. My life is not what I planned. I planned for war. I found peace. I planned for hate. I found love. I am Scarlet. I married him for revenge, but I stayed for love. If you are listening to my story, please remember this. When you are hurt, you want to hurt back. It is natural. You want to see the other person suffer. But hate will not fix your heart. Hate will only make a hole in your soul. Forgiveness is hard. It is the hardest thing in the world. But it is the only way to be free. I lost my family's shop. I lost my father. I cannot get them back. But I have a new family now. I have a husband who loves me. And soon, we will open a new bakery. We will call it Miller and Blackwood. We will bake bread together. We will make people happy. That is the best revenge. To be happy, to live well, to love. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope you find your peace too. Goodbye.